shifted around him naturally. And most men will never understand what creates that kind of presence because society teaches men the wrong idea about attraction. It tells you attraction is about perfect looks, money, status, muscles, or endless attention. So men spend years chasing appearances, trying to look more important, trying to sound more confident, trying to prove themselves in every room they enter. But real attraction doesn't work that way. Researchers studying female attraction discovered something surprising. Women consistently described calm, emotionally grounded men as more attractive than younger men with obvious physical advantages. Why? Because attraction is not only visual, it's psychological, emotional, energetic, and the qualities women feel most deeply are often invisible. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. The first trait is composed silence. Young men often fear silence. They rush to fill every moment with words, jokes, explanations, or validation because silence feels uncomfortable when you're insecure. But a man who has lived through struggle, loss, failure, and pressure learns something powerful. He learns that silence is not weakness. Silence is control. When a man becomes comfortable saying less, his presence becomes stronger. His calmness creates emotional weight. Women notice this immediately, even if they can't explain it logically, because stillness feels powerful, and power that doesn't need attention becomes magnetic. The second trait is quiet authority. The strongest man in the room rarely announces himself. He doesn't interrupt people. He doesn't compete for attention. He doesn't need to dominate conversations. He simply carries certainty within himself. And that certainty changes the emotional temperature of the room. Most people try to perform confidence, but true confidence doesn't perform. It relaxes. It observes. It remains grounded. That kind of energy instantly separates a man from everyone else. The third trait is emotional depth. A man who has suffered, rebuilt himself, healed, and kept moving forward carries something rare in his eyes. Life changes him, and women are deeply attracted to men who have emotional substance beneath the surface. Not perfection, not performance, depth. Because depth creates mystery. Depth creates trust. Depth creates emotional safety. A woman doesn't just want a handsome face. She wants to feel the presence of a real man behind it. The fourth trait is the refusal to chase. A man whose life is meaningful does not desperately seek validation. He enjoys connection, but he does not depend on attention to feel complete. And this changes everything because desperation pushes people away. But emotional independence creates attraction naturally. The man who constantly seeks approval becomes forgettable. The man who values his own purpose becomes unforgettable. Women can feel the difference immediately. And finally, the fifth trait, peace with mortality. Almost nobody talks about this, but a man who accepts that life is temporary becomes fully present in a way most people never do. He stops wasting energy pretending. He stops fearing judgment. He stops living for approval. And because of that, he becomes more alive, more real, more grounded, more connected to every moment. There is something incredibly powerful about a man who no longer runs from life's reality. Because when a man stops fearing the end, he finally begins to live completely. And nothing is more attractive than someone who is fully present. You are not watching this by accident. Part of you already understands this truth. The man you are becoming has more power than the man you used to be. Every hardship can sharpen you. Every scar can deepen you. Every challenge can build presence that cannot be faked. The question is not whether you can become magnetic. The real question is, will you build these qualities deliberately? Which of these 5 traits are you developing right now? Comment below. And if you want to understand the deeper psychology behind attraction, masculine presence, and emotional power, subscribe now because the next video will completely change the way you see yourself.